What is up, y'all? Happy full moon in Sagittarius. Are you feeling fiery? I can barely contain my energy. When I was just like getting my thoughts together about the workshop today, I was like I kept getting this vision of like this little sprightly cartoon girl like getting up all her energy and then being like, "Bee!" And I was like, is that the Powerpuff Girls? I don't know. I didn't watch the Powerpuff Girls. I was a little too old for them, so I missed it. But like vaguely, I feel like that kind of is like to me the energy right now. So much has been going on that has been really fiery lately. So, I mean, it's like I feel like being a student of Hebrew Kabbalah, it's so funny because, you know, we work towards these windows in time during the year that, you know, people refer to as these high holy holidays. And it's like it's all about like shedding the layers of the ego and like going through these difficult challenges in order to like become our better selves and receive these blessings. But it's so funny because there's just so few weeks during the year that it's not like some kind of intense like initiation portal. So yeah, I've been feeling it more than ever, but I've also been feeling that Powerpuff Girl energy. Like it's so crazy. So yes, this full moon in Sagittarius is a mutable fire energy. It's ruled by Jupiter. I don't know about you guys, but have you been craving fire? Like I had to make a fire in the fireplace at my sister's house during the crawfish boil at that evening because like we had moved in and we were away from the fire pit outside and I just like couldn't be done with it. And I needed to like, you know, be with fire. And then today I almost like started this without candle. I decided to bring candle in. I almost, you know, started without incense and something was like, no, we need the holy smoke. We need the frankincense. This is frankincense and myrrh burning. So yeah, just think about that mutable flame and how it moves and changes and it's so unpredictable and it just like, it seems to just come from nowhere. It's like, what is fire? It's so wild, you know, if you have like, I don't know, I'm a fire sign, so I have a relationship to fire that probably other people are like, why is she like nerding out on this right now? Anywho, so before we talk about just Jupiter in, you know, the full moon and everything right now, you might have noticed that like your energy sort of shifted recently. And got more focused and honed in. And so we've just like released a lot through this chaotic season. It's parallel with the Omer, which is the follow-up trial and tribulation weeks of making the exodus from Egypt, that is Passover. And then receiving the blessing therein of like breaking those chains, right? And leaving Egypt. So then we go through this process for like 7 weeks and it comes to this culmination of like probably a big challenge or whatever that probably put you face to face with a lifelong pattern. So, you know, that's where we're at most of the time throughout most of the year, if you're a student of Hebrew Kabbalah. But also, it's also in alignment with the astrology going on right now. So whatever camp you fall in, you've just come through eclipse season and all of these new moons that sort of set us off into not only our energy for the new year, because like looking at it from a paganistic perspective, our spring, you know, is our start. And so, like, you know, from all fronts, the spiritual, energetic, and elemental new year begins in the spring, which is launched by these Aries new moons. We had 2 in a 28-day cycle during April. And that led us into the eclipse season, which this new year, this new cycle isn't just like a new year and a new cycle, but like all of us that have been on here for a while now, you know, we've been talking about like this timeline shift where we have this really universal cosmic opportunity to make drastic and major change, or the work that we've already been doing is going to have drastic and major results as long as we can maintain. You know, just in my Kabbalah teacher was talking about this week about how we usually short circuit right before we're successful, right before we have a breakthrough, right before, you know, the company goes into the profit zone or whatever. So it's like, this is a time where like we can really shift into this up-leveled new level of self, but it doesn't ever come for free. So this year, it's like we can start this new beginning, but it's like we are becoming the character that is going to play out this story as we go. And so each time we come up against these challenges, because they're going to be thematically probably, similar for your life, you're just going to respond to them differently. And so if you choose to, it's a difficult process. And so, yeah, and it's always a discipline and a process. So you have a chance to really be more in alignment with your higher self if you've been doing the work, but you're going to be presented with tests and challenges and obstacles, like in the gauntlet, in the hero in the forest, right, on the hero's journey. So where we're at now is we've been like wanting this new beginning to start now for, I mean, my God, you guys, we've been talking about it for like months and months and months. And it's like this whole year, I was also given this vision, because I keep like always like the engine starting, and like spark plugs, and like not wanting to turn over like that. Those are always like relevant metaphors for me for like shifting and moving energy. And so I got this vision, and it was more than just like the spark plug needed to be changed out and we just needed to start the car. It's more than that. It's like we've been souping up a hot rod to join a race, and we've been testing it out and seeing what our vessel is made of. And so we've been switching out parts and pieces to get our ultimate engine and horsepower souped up for the big race, right? For the launch. And so we want that ultimate momentum. And once we get that momentum, our skill thus far, the wisdom and, experience we've brought with us is going to give us the ability to have the self-control to keep this baby in between the lines, right? So we've got all this power and force and raw energy to work with right now, and it's either going to consume us and eat us up and tear us apart, or we can, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. Love that for us, right? Always and forever. Just like something just said, like just drinking the off-brand Kool-Aid and making the best of it. It's like how I had to grow up. We had Drink Aid. We had Drink Aid by Kroger, and you didn't get the Kool-Aid points. So we just lusted after prizes that we would never be able to get. Oh my God, childhood realization. So the full moon in Sagittarius is the first time this year that we've really started into this new cycle, where the new moon in Taurus sort of set us on this journey where we were like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel grounded, and I know what I'm feeling and wanting, and I'm starting to feel dry land again, because we've been in this deluge, right? And because our Mars was in Cancer, and so that's what I'm getting to. And so Mars has finally shifted out of Cancer into Leo. That was a couple of weeks ago, I think. And so you might have noticed your energies were starting to draw back together. And do you guys remember when Voldemort started pulling himself back together again? I mean, not that we're trying to be Voldemort, but if you have the Tikkun of Mercy, maybe this is you need a little dose of Voldemort in your villain moment to just have some backbone, right? However, that's not true for someone who has a Tikkun of Judgment and needs to be more generous and, not as narcissistic, right? So you have to have discernment for yourself. But these are all things that we've been working on and leading up to this point, right? So that we can go on to this new cycle using our free will, our awakened consciousness, and not just be, at the mercy of the winds of change, but to just have some self-control. You can't have anything without self-control. And that's control over your thoughts, emotions, over your energy, over your faith and certainty in things that you cannot see, feel, and touch and are not logical or reasonable, right? So expanding our philosophy as well is this Jupiter new moon, right? The Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So backtracking, Mars moving into Leo. through it in Taurus season. So we were feeling like we were getting our feet on dry ground again because we'd been in the deluge of our willpower and drive being immersed in watery, emotional like depths of Cancer, right? And all of the themes that Cancer is over. And so yeah, that was very like, oh, I don't have any like, I feel like I don't have any solidness. I don't have any, I'm just like water with no vessel, you know, like just pouring out and drowning in emotion, because we'd also just come through the depths of like Pisces and this like big cleansing and this big purge. So yeah, so finally to get our feet again on dry land, it's like, oh my gosh, we've been washed ashore after a shipwreck and we're like disoriented and we're pulling ourselves together, we're thirsty, we're like, everything's salty. So that Leo, that Mars moving into Leo is like our spirit, our sense of self again coming back online and feeling a sudden surge of focus and readiness to just be putting our energy into something that we really want and what really matters, like all of our goals and stuff we've been working on. It's just that there was so much interior stuff to sort out before any of those goals like had a chance to be fruitful anyway, right? So we always have to work on the inside because it's vibrationally, we're creating from there, right? On a seed level. So we've been working on our seed level. And so now we're finally at a point where we can start actually building upon these foundations that we've been working on for the last, couple of years. So full moon in Sagittarius, mutable fire. You're like, okay, I'm mutable. I can mute away from my old default setting into this new fresh start in life as a new version of myself, connected deeper than ever to my own personal philosophy. All of that is expanding. You're starting to see bigger and better things for yourself, and you're feeling uplifted. Jupiter expands. It's fortunate. It feels optimistic. It's the archer that feels lucky to take its shot. It's focused. It's determined, and it can let go with confidence and surrender and trust that whatever will happen will happen. And that's why that archer hits the mark. The archer is also Pegasus, right? So it's horse, hoof to ground. That horsepower, right? Oh my God, we're like in the pit, right? And we're getting our car ready to go out into the race and do that next lap, that next cycle. We're starting this new cycle, and we're in a bigger cycle. And the thing is, though, Jupiter can expand things for good or bad. So it's like, are you going to let it expand the negative parts of your life, or are you going to let it expand the parts of your life that have no discipline and control and exacerbate what's already destructive? Or are you stepping up? Are you leveling up? Are you, doing the things and setting that you set out to do? Are you keeping those promises to yourself? What were you manifesting in January, in December, in the fall when we were talking about it before? Like, we're at the 6-month period in the year. So where are you in your goals? Now, don't be too hard on yourself, because like we've been talking about, all this year has felt like, why am I putting in the effort? But it just feels like nothing is really like letting up or like giving over. So many people have talked to me about this energy in everything that they're doing. And so we're not alone. But right now, like, the energy is so potent because of that resistance. It's like a slingshot. And so that's what we're talking about. All this momentum is ready to go, and you can't fuck yourself up by putting on the brakes or throwing a wrench in your forward progress. So we kind of have to be like Walking Dead season 4. Keep going. Don't look back. Let them have grandpa. Just keep moving forward and don't hold yourself back, right? Because Jupiter is also, oh my gosh, what is it? It's in Taurus, or I think is where it moved into for the next year. And so that is going to be expanding all of these Venus themes in our life. What we have around us that nurtures us in our intimate surroundings, what we find beautiful, what lights us up and makes us feel alive and sensual and romantic. And, you know, that includes the visuals around us. It's like art and symphony, and Greek myth even falls under that category of the tree of life. And so there's all this like thought about how you want your home life to be, what makes you feel secure, what do you value, what do you want for yourself in the long run, how do you want to allocate your resources, and that includes your attention and your time and your passion, right, your skills and your purpose. That also ties into how you make your bread, how you make your living, you know, how it's woven into your purpose and your higher calling, right? Is that something that you have to do alongside of just something that gives you your sustenance, right? You have to figure out and make a plan and then put it into action. And so it's going to enhance relationships, right? The ones that are close to you. It can expand your social groups and your friend circle and your experience with relationships. Your family relationships can improve with your, you know, siblings and your parents if you'd like. You can improve upon the friendships that you have. It's all up to you and how you utilize this expansive energy, but that's going to be like going on for the next year. So if you decide to expand what hasn't been working though, with all of eclipse season trying to do everything it could, like the thing is, like the universe just gets louder and it just gets more uncomfortable. So we're, you know, in this full moon, we're letting go of anything that makes us feel stuck or trapped or confined or contracted or contained or prevents us from feeling free, prevents us from expansion, right? The purpose of the soul in this life is expansion. It's to elevate. It's to like break down our negativity and reveal sparks of light on behalf of the Creator. So that is what has been mapped out for you on your journey, right? It's not like all sunshine and rainbows. We have a mission here in this life and we have work to do. So it's letting go or like removing the obstacles that stand in the way of you and your relationship to your higher self and Creator, and where holy, you know, spirit and energy and divine providence and purpose and direction is guiding you to go, because your soul has a purpose that it needs to do in this world. So we are releasing things that are stifling or suffocating our flames, our fire, our drive, our ambition, our outlook. Things that are suffocating the flame of our passion and our adventurousness and our optimism and our lust for life and our faith that, you know, in ourselves and in life, right? Anything that's just like putting a damper on that or creating stagnancy or like putting a blanket over the flame, right? We need that flame to burn. That's what Sagittarius is trying to light our fire. To launch, right? Every vehicle, every vessel that moves has to have fire to propel it forward. So this is the fire that is like launching us off, launching our rocket. We are, oh my God, the whole energy right now is trying to perfect the vessel, perfect energy to launch yourself into this new life. With true belief in yourself and hope, either that or come what may. Fuck it, I'm not going back to who I was or the life that I lived or the consciousness that I was in. So this is a renewal of our outlook, right? Like, come what may, fuck it. I'm not going to be the person I was. I'm not going to keep living that same cycle and pattern over and over and over and over again. I'm breaking the record, throwing it in the garbage, and getting a new album, right? We're not stuck in a fucking locked groove. We're just going to throw the record out, right? Get a new one. Telling a new story about ourselves. Being able to be reborn, to be die, like crucify the ego. Let yourself have the ego death and arise anew. Eckhart Tolle let his ego die. He sat on a park bench for like a year or two, and he did the same thing that the sages did, the Kabbalistic sages. I can't remember which sage it was, but one of them was guided and led to spend a year of their life not eating unless someone offered them food. Because that was a way to restrict the vessel and to acknowledge the fact that Source is our source. We don't have to do anything. What is meant to be that is ours, if we get out of the way, if we stop doing all the things that fuck everything up in our life, then we can shed those ego layers, have realness with it, have deep love and compassion for ourselves with no judgment, and just be real. It is what it is. Okay, this is what I'm working with. Okay, now I'm finally awake to the obstacle course that I've been in anyway. And now, game on, I'm in. I can see what's coming in the context of what it is and how to navigate that now. So we are perfecting the vessel to launch ourselves into a new life. This is a renewed outlook and a search for something more meaningful, like 8 of Cups energy. Okay, Mars recently moved into Cancer, into Leo, which focused our energy and drive and determination. We talked about that. This square Jupiter and North Node in Taurus, expanding what we've already been coming to discover that we truly need and want in our lives, and to feel secure and abundant and loved and nurtured and expanded. So Taurus is what we value in those Venus themes. We talked about that. So Venus, the ruler of love and money, those are connected because they're both ruled by Venus. So our career, the very way we earn money, what we focus our resources and time into, what we surround ourselves with, who we surround ourselves with to feel love and beauty and liberation and truth, and freedom and expansion. What we need and desire in our partnerships and relationships, particularly where love relationships are concerned. So those are our notes. Basically, if I had to channel the energy of the Sagittarius new moon and all of the astrological aspects and the Kabbalistic holidays that have led us into this moment, I feel like it's like, I'm coming online, like it's alive! The electricity, the lightning jolt, and it's like we're coming online and we're like, I'm starting to figure it out. Everything is getting clear. I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know how to get it. I've got all the energy in the world. And nothing can stop me. And I'm optimistic and enthusiastic. And I'm becoming a vessel for the sake of sharing, right? Not for receiving for the self alone. So that's what we're doing when we practice restriction. It's always a practice, right? It's never perfect. Okay, let's do our Celtic cross using my custom oracle, the straightforward oracle, and see what we have in store for the next 2 weeks during the waning cycle. Okay, when we do the new moon workshops, they're pretty much good for the month, but the waxing cycle and the new moon is sort of like, they're related, but the new moon continues through the waxing cycle, through the whole month cycle. The full moon is sort of like that energy, those influences in the waning cycle are like the dissipating energies that are washing away the influences and the refuse and whatnot, and the culmination has happened in the new moons. It's like cleaning up after the party, the reflection, the looking back on what's been happening. However, full moons and new moons, like they're related in 6-month cycles as well. So whatever Sagittarius new moon was 6 months ago, what were you manifesting then? Is it culminating now? Is it coming to fruition? Also, I just noticed before I started, the top of the deck had like healing. Okay, so who are we in the presence of this moment? Ooh, vibrational dissonance. So not having affinity with, creating separation, turbulence. You are not in vibrational alignment with the subject in question. There's disharmony, vibrational dissonance. Where is this coming from? Emotional, mental stress, thoughts, energy levels. Do you have hidden conflicting desire or lack of desire? Repelling energy. I'm not going to go into the back of that card because whatever is happening right now, the turbulence is trying to show you that you are just not in vibrational alignment with what your goal is right now. So you have to go into your consciousness and shift that at a seed level, because that's where we're creating from. So are you in a state of fear, lack, doubt, scarcity, or are you in a state of certainty, right? Are you in a state of clarity? Are you in a state of energy and passion and determination, right? So something about the elements in your goal are dissonant. What is crossing us right now? Ooh, Amuna, absolute certainty. Oh my God. So yeah, you got to shift yourself into a state of cause consciousness. Certainty is faith beyond reason. It's so funny because I've been ruminating on this concept all day, and I was talking to my friend about it at work last night. We were discussing it, but it's this Kabbalistic concept, and you know, like Hebrew concept, this Hebrew word emuna. It means faith beyond reason. It means that, yes, I am a logical, reasonable person, but I've transcended this because I believe and I've seen and I know through experience. When you have seen and known, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. That's what Jesus was talking about. It's like when you have this experience, this awakening for yourself, and you've lived it and you've known it and you've been in the presence of it, you know it. It's like it sets you free. You can't go back. You can't turn back. And that's where we're at right now in this awakening. You know, the last note on the card, right? I didn't even think about that, but it's like you can't, there's no turning back. You'll turn into salt, like Lot's wife. You'll be frozen in time as a pillar of bitterness, never able to move forward, in a suspended state of animation, but like, you know, no life. So Amuna is what's crossing you now is an opportunity to see the dissonance and get your ass in check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Get into a state of certainty through the spiritual practice that you have established for yourself, through all the ways that you've found ways to shift your consciousness and shift your energy forward. And if you've been with me for a while, we always talk. We're continually talking about how to do that, but it starts. It's an inside job. It's an inside job, and it's slow work, right? You're plowing the fields. Amuna. Understanding that you already possess everything you desire. Okay, and the cards that flipped with it were like, let go of what's not worth fixing and don't be lazy. So I'm just not, oh wait, no it wasn't, that was on the top. What came out with it was the destiny you choose and unavoidable fate. So I love that that came out together, and I love that something told me to go back for it. So your Amuna, your faith beyond reason, is helping you navigate through an unavoidable fate, but the destiny you choose. In one of Rebecca Campbell's decks, I think it's it's the one that I have that I use for myself all the time, but there's actually a spread that is like the bridge spread, where it's like you're going from, like the fate is like the cards that you're dealt in this life. In Hebrew terms, we call that tikkun. This is like your natal chart in astrology. It's like, this is the map of your life. These are your parents, this is where you're born, these are the major players and things that happen to you and events that trigger the things in you that need to evolve and change. These are your strengths and talents. This is your allotted darkness in this life. This is actually the most important part. Your strengths and talents are just basically tools in your belt to help you deal with this. This is the most important. This is the point. So this is what we're assigned to in this life. It's this darkness and density that we are given to transform, to transmute, so that we reveal the sparks of light in the Creator and we obliterate the darkness, right? Matter cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So it's our spiritual inheritance and responsibility to do this in this life. The inheritance that you receive for the sweat and toil is free will, elevation and consciousness. You rise towards your divinity away from your animalistic consciousness, and you become more human and even rise and transcend that into your divinity. And so, yeah, you've been dealt a hand of cards. That's our fate. Each of us have a hand of cards that were dealt, and that's our fate. But the destiny you choose is how you pause. What a pleasure. Why is this in my movie? How do I want to move forward? The destiny you choose is when you stand in your own sovereignty and you make it a practice and a spiritual sacrifice on a daily basis to the Creator. Not to you, not to anybody else, but it's to the Creator, because that is who's in direct supervision over you. And that's who you have to answer to at the end of the day. And you're the only one that lives your life in this life. So you are creating your own experience. So right now, practicing certainty is the thing that you need to navigate unavoidable fate that is going to be the way it is regardless. It's like, okay, this is the obstacle course. Think of it like a video game. You go into a level and it's already been designed before you got there. It's what you choose to do and the wisdom and the skills that you pick up within the level of that game and the patterns that you recognize that allow you to navigate that and pass the course. You can put in cheat codes, i.e. being manipulative and coercive, or you can do it the real way, learning the keys, the keystrokes, right? By practice. So you can't cheat. I mean, you can cheat, but God sees you cheat. Divine sees you cheat. You can't, like, your energy doesn't lie. You can't lie. You can't fake energy. You can force things, but the universe will take it back tenfold. So what you put out, you are receiving. Those are the seeds that you're sowing. So you can choose your destiny. All the actions that we take create angels. That puts the power in our prayers. If our prayers are heard, are answered. It's the quality of consciousness and energy that we put into our action and into our life. If you are committing negative actions out there in the world and spreading more darkness and, continuing cycles of chaos, then you're creating negative angels. And it's essentially, you're crawling in demons. I mean, when people joke around, like, I blame the demons, like, it's not really, like, that's real, okay? And when you are, like, demon slaying and you're waking up to it and you're able to be honest with yourself, because that's the only thing that's going to allow you to change is rigorous, cold self-honesty, but with no judgment, right? With love, with acceptance, with compassion. That's how we heal ourselves and move forward. We can't feel love, period, if we don't love ourselves. We'll be starving for it. We'll recognize it in ways and visualize, like in visual ways or in patterns that we mistake for love, but we won't ever feel fulfilled until we love ourselves. And so that is the process of Amuna. That is the process that takes you from your unavoidable fate through the video game that was always going to be set up at this level just this way. It's what gives you the ability to navigate through it and choose your fate and get to the next level. Okay, so I'm putting those all down there. Okay, so what is the basis of the situation, which is basically the subconscious, unconscious energy that is driving all of this to begin with? Okay. Dishonesty and time to move on. This situation has no more to give. There's nothing left for you here. Oh my God. So do you remember moments ago, you can rewind, when I looked out on the top of the deck and I was like, this is the card it said. It was like, there's nothing more here. Like, it's not worth fixing. That's the other card in this deck that essentially says something very similar to this. So the basis of this unavoidable fate and needing to have Amuna and certainty is that, and the reason why you're vibrationally not in alignment with this is because it hasn't been based on honesty or authenticity. And so basically the Amuna that you're having right now is that divine is going to bring you into a situation that is in alignment with you. But you have to get clear and stay in your Amuna in order to have the resonance with your own frequency to pull that in, to pull in what's really a match for you. And that is applicable to anything, any category of your life. So you're in vibrational dissonance. There has been something that is not on the up and ups, or it hasn't been presented real, right? Lying or being lied to. Someone is not being honest with you. You are not being honest with yourself or someone else. Inauthentic, avoiding the truth, not being realistic, manipulation, facade, not as things appear, lost in material illusion. When you think that what the material realm is the reflection of reality, that's getting caught in the illusion, when you don't realize that it's all coming from inside of you. Something is unknown below the surface. Loss, theft, getting cheated out of something. And then time to move on. The situation has no more to give. There's nothing left for you here. You will regret wasting any more time here. There is nothing more to be shared, given, or received here for the highest good. It is time to let go. The situation does not offer you true value. This situation does not offer you true value that is authentic to you. You can't make this shit up, folks. You just can't. Oh my God. Okay, cool. And then creation phase 4 is at the top of the deck, when you actually manifest what you want, but it's actually fulfilling. Okay, recent past. What is the situation from the recent past that's clearing up but still kind of affecting you? Clear communication, okay? Speak your truth. Speak clearly. Say what you mean. Double check communication. Simple, clear message. Speak your truth. Okay, so truth has been revealed. There has been dishonesty. Truth has been revealed. Maybe the dishonesty that has been affecting you is going to be moved forward by clear communication, to put it behind you, and to move forward unencumbered and untainted by the stain of what can linger in your subconscious. So we've been doing all this work to like clear all this out. We've been purifying the vessel. So we don't want to take our vessel into our next timeline, like, you know, tainted, infected, cracked. Okay, so what is crowning us now? What's the energy that's like hovering over? This is a spiritual issue to overcome. This experience is serving to challenge you for your spiritual transformation. Oh my God, growth through challenges. You are supposed to go through this right now. There is something to glean from this. Pause. How you meet this moment can change the situation. Overcoming reactivity. The situation might seem like a surface or material issue, but it's connected to a spiritual lesson that you are meant to learn in this moment. Tests, learning, embodying, challenges, spiritual transformation. I could have just read these cards, like, oh my God, like the whole 20 minutes of this video. It was just like, we're just like rehashing. Okay. What is coming up ahead of us? What is right around the corner? Okay, forgiveness is what is being asked for, is like flipping out. I'm flipping out! And then let go of control. Okay. Perfect that those go together. They've already been the cards we've been getting out of every deck, every day for a whole life. Okay. So forgiveness is what is forgiveness. Sing it with me. We know it. We know it by heart now. Is more than saying sorry. Just Friends, that movie, the romantic comedy. It's a Christmas movie with Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart and Anna Faris. It's hysterical. That's where that song comes from, and I sing it often on this channel because these cards are always coming up. Because we're always being asked to forgive someone, and it's for our own, to put down the burden of what we've been carrying. It's part of releasing. It's part of clearing the grounds. It's part of tower moments and clearing the past so that we can move forward unencumbered. And the less baggage we're carrying with us, the less hard feelings, the less bitterness, then we're not frozen in time like Lot's wife looking back. We're just moving forward. Like the Fool, like the Archer, taking our shot, right? Going forward and like not stifled, but just like wandering freely, skipping forward into the great blue yonder, right? Instead of going quietly into the night, we're skipping, frolicking free, and we are doing that Sound of Music dance in Switzerland in the summertime. Okay, so let go of control. Acceptance and surrender. Hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna keep reading the front of these cards because it's script. It's unfolding. It's like an assignment. Like, what is word from headquarters? Forgiveness is what is being asked for. This is affecting everything. Forgive to unblock. stagnant, toxic, grudge, stalemate, bondage. Liberate yourself. Call your power back. Leaking energy. Forgiveness will heal the wound. Let go of control. Acceptance. Surrender. To pass the test, you must let go of control. Fucking final phase of manifestation every time. The universe is stretching your trust muscles. Trust all is well. Let go. Control is only an illusion. Control is only ever an illusion. Be free. Be free. Last workshop, it was all about like, there's nothing to worry about. You're making too big of a deal about the situation. Don't magnify the situation. Your anxiety is making it worse. So like, I've been making it a point to just like, fuck it, who cares, the whole month. And I can see why now, looking back. Okay, so our perspective that is affecting the situation right now is deservingness is the key to unblock your manifestation. So the inner conflicting desire that might be blocking you is guilt. Feeling like you don't deserve what's really meant for you. And so King David didn't care if it was right or wrong. He felt deserving and he demanded what he wanted. And if it turned out to go poorly, he like called out to the creator, he cried out his heart, and he moved forward. And that we deserve what we deserve. We deserve what is meant for us on our path. So you deserve what God has in store for you, right? You can't argue with God. You can't argue with that, right? I deserve what God has in store for me. All the blessings. Okay, so outer influences affecting situation. Oh no, that one fell under the table, I think. I think I lost a card under the table. Let me see. Oh, I did. Okay, let's see what this is. Okay. All right. Deep sleep is on top for anybody who needs sleep. Sleep renews and purifies our soul. It's like a mini death judgment day every day that is cleansing. It's good. So you need sleep. Okay, so the outer situation that is affecting us right now is boredom is causing stagnation, complacency, latent, blasé, feeling void, right? That's that deluge that we were in, right? That we're getting that fiery spirit to get out of. So the other cards that came out with it were creation phase 3. This is when you keep having to push and go forward and keep sharing and keep giving your all, even though you don't see the results yet. You just have to have amuna, certainty, and trust in the creator that what you're putting your energy into your balance will be transferred. Whatever vessel it is, it doesn't matter. Your energy is going to carry over if you maintain certainty. Also a good business opportunity and peace and release. So have peace, release, let go of control, surrender, let it go, radical acceptance, untangle, allow, let go of control, certainty in the light, embrace the unknown, move forward from here. Don't get stuck in the past. Again, a good business opportunity, partnerships, new job, good business idea, solid business plan, maybe a bridge to the next thing, building skills. This is an opportunity that holds value. What value will this business deliver, both to the customer and to you? So with these in context, it's like you're working towards something that you feel has value for you, and you're working towards goals that you feel are a good idea. And it's like the universe is like, yeah, this is good, stay focused on it, but don't get caught in stagnant ways, stagnant energies. Things that are ready to be let go are tainting and corrupting what you need and the things that you need to, like all your resources within yourself, you need to shift them into something else. It's like another metaphor that was brought up to me the other day is like the Impressionist painters. You know, when I was learning about them in art history, it was like, I was always like, why do they always have to like give up painting to begin sculpting? I don't understand. Like they loved painting. Or why did they give up sculpting to pursue painting? And it's like, because that's, if you want to master something, if you want to really have something fully and have the full experience, it's like you have to double down in that thing. You can't spread your resources thin because you're just going to be a dabbler, right? So they knew that they had to allocate their limited time and resources and energy and focus and consciousness into the thing where they were being led to next, right? So, okay, so what is in the hopes and fears position? What do we have for our hopes and fears? Oh, you are fretting. Okay. So needless worry, unfocused attention, stop obsessing, calm down. It doesn't matter that much. Your frantic energy is making it worse. Peace, calm, everything will work out. Everything will work its way out. There's no use crying over spilt milk. Stop, leave it alone. We back again. Stop fretting. Don't fret. Focus your energy on what is lighting you up, what's important to you, what you've been trying to work towards. Don't let your energies dissipate with distracting challenges, right? Because there will be challenges sent to distract you and throw you off your game, because the dark side doesn't want you to excel, to elevate, to be in alignment with your purpose. Because then you're going to be stealing the dark density, the muck, the refuse of the universe, and you're going to be transforming it into light and goodness and sharing and creation. So in our final outcome position, these two cards came out. It's listen carefully, deep listening, open heart, pay attention to others. Who are you listening to? So pay attention to others and listen to your heart, and listen with an open heart, and pay attention to who you're listening to, right? Who do you give your power to when you're listening to them? And your limiting beliefs are the issue here. So again, the answer is Emunah. It's faith beyond reason. It's trust in the certainty of the Creator, that what is yours is meant for you and will not be taken away. Your limiting beliefs are the issue here. Subconscious beliefs holding you back. You are in lack, identity, and programming. You are in lack, identity, and reprogram subconscious. Let me start over. Subconscious beliefs holding you back. You are in lack. Identify and reprogram subconscious pattern. You are attracting what you believe. Your beliefs affect your vibe. So, a shift is occurring. Lean into it in your most positive, highest self. Okay, let's pull 4 cards out of the Modern Witch Tarot clarification. All right, let's get some synopsis. Okay, we have Page of Cups. This is a message, an emotional message. Something from the heart is coming through, because we had listened carefully. I'm gonna make sure that none of the cards fell under the table. No, I got them all. Okay, oh my goodness, we have, this one had fallen up. Okay, let's see. Well, I think things are going well, because we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is intuitive, sensitive, creative, understanding, the kind of person that people like to go talk to and trust. But the page in every suit is a messenger. And so the Page of Cups is presenting of like a positive message of sentiment. It may be an apology. It may be like a truce. It may be an honest or authentic moment or whatever. But yeah, the page is sensitive. So listen carefully with an open heart, right? Don't let your limiting beliefs and fretting block whatever the Page of Cups is trying to let you know, right? The Sun is the rebirth and renewal of consciousness. It is the yes, capital Y-E-S confirmation card in the major arcana. This is about an awakening of seeing the light, right? And we are the naked baby riding our white horse. She's not a naked baby, but in traditional art, she is, oh my God, she looks like me. I'm a naked little baby riding a white horse with my flag into the future, away from the walls, right? We see those sunflowers, confidence, willpower, courage, strength, all those Leo themes, right? This Leo season is bringing in a lot of this, like solidifying this fiery energy, you know, in the coming, you know, weeks of summer. So just keep leaning into it. Ride your horse. And the horsepower, the horse, it just keeps coming up, right? Fire, sun, horse, like be a sunshine, be happy, be joyous, be childlike, have a new start, have a fresh start for yourself, be optimistic, move forward unencumbered. The star card. So we've got two major arcana cards coming up to tell us that things are going to be okay, that healing can happen, that there's hope in the cards. The major arcana card tells someone who's been working on spiritual development and progress that their healing is imminent, that what they're doing, the work is paying off, and that they should have every hope that all of these, like if the Nine of Cups is wish come true, the star card is that wish upon a star that you've had in your heart all your life. Your destiny, the destiny that you choose yourself is being unlocked, right? The star. That brightest star in the sky, but also the healing and integration like that we see from the Temperance card, right? When the cups are being mixed and integrated, right? Integration and embodiment of the lessons so that we have hope for the future. So focus on the end of difficulty and the beginning of a healing journey towards the light at the end of the tunnel to brighter days. Okay, and what is this card? Ace of Pentacles, you guys. Oh my God. So Page of Cups over here is like emotional renewal that is bringing in new opportunities, new seeds planted, new things that have real potential to bear fruit, you know, for long-term value. So we're at the beginning of this process though. It's a new beginning. So it's seed level. So it's important right now that you plant in a new moon, right? The new moon is the dark moon. We restrict the most. We restrict our ego. We restrict everything, and we go into a state of void and darkness and silence. That is a divine, supernal feminine trait of self-control, is that ultimate restriction. She gives the boundary for that wild, unadulterated masculine force to take form and shape. So the vessel has to be perfected, and we have been perfecting the vessel through the new moon energy of restrict the self, restrict the smaller self, right? Restrict the fear, restrict the lack, restrict the doubt, restrict the reactivity, restrict effect consciousness so that you can have creator consciousness as opposed to destroyer consciousness. So you can have cause consciousness, right? So that you can create a new life, a new timeline, create everything that all the energy that you put into your dreams. Make sure that that is pure, like powerful force to put into your dreams. Positive, love, sharing, passion, determination, vigor. If you're like half-hearted, you're not going to produce powerful angels, right? We were talking about that earlier. When you pray, you're calling on the angels that you've created. So how many are working for you? How many are working against you? How many are powerful that are working for you? And how many are walking with a little limp, you know? Like with a crutch, with a one eye, because you did it half-hearted, right? So wholehearted. Put your full self in it. That's why you can only have time for things that are important to you right now. And swat the flies away, right? You've got to direct your focus. You know, it's like when women come to me and they're like, why do I only attract these men? It's like, is it a reflection on me? No, it's not a reflection on you. A bright light attracts all bugs, moths, everything. It is up to you to discern and swat. So that had to include for me the kind of gigs that I would accept as the freelancer in TV and film and video production. I said no to things that I didn't want to work on, that I knew were going to be a drain to my energy or not in alignment with my goals. So you have to be the discerner for that for you. Okay. Before we go into our oracles over there, let's get a moon card from our Moonology deck, as always. What do we need to know from our moon for this couple of weeks in our waning cycle? We got two cards. Let's see. We have conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Well, okay, look back to whatever was going on during eclipse season a few weeks ago. Something is coming to a conclusion. It's within reach. Just be gentle and listen openly, because the energy of the Sagittarius full moon is quite fiery. You know, like there's potential for things to pop off. So just restrict. Okay. Be bold and make the first move. Cardinal moon. Okay. Cardinal energy is like starter energy. I have like triple cardinal energy. So I am like cardinal. I'm really good at starting things. Cardinals are my spirit animal. I have a million like red cardinal feathers. So be bold. Take your shot. Take your lucky shot. Shoot your shot. You know, you're the archer. Sagittarius full moon. You know, do what you can. But be bold and make your move. If you have an opportunity that is, you know, presented to you, go for it. Seize your abundance. Seize your value. Seize your moment, right? Like have your 8 Mile moment, you know, arms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti, you know, are you gonna like choke, or are you gonna be able to flow? So we're getting into the flow. Right now we're choking. We're choking on dissonance, okay? We are gobbling and choking dissonance right now, people. We need to get it out of our face. You know what I mean? Trying to keep it relatively PG-13/R for YouTube. I'm an inappropriate woman. Okay. One card from Angel Wisdom Tarot by Radley Valentine. He's from, I think, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Was that a flippy? A flippy? No. Okay. Ooh, okay. 7 of Swords. A loss of peace of mind or personal freedom. Take caution and be aware of others' actions. So a loss of peace of mind and personal freedom. Take caution and be aware of others' actions. A material loss. Make sure you're being honest with yourself. Embarrassing secrets. So yeah, the 7 of Swords is like conniving, manipulative, dishonest energy. And what did we have in the basis of the situation was dishonesty, and move on from anything that's dishonest and inauthentic because it's causing dissonance, right? So we're getting rid of toxicity and dishonesty and things that aren't real and aren't authentic. And that means that you have to be really, really, really mindful of every step and every move so that you're not falling into patterns or triggering other people's patterns, or being aware that when you are, like, their reactions to you are coming from their patterns, right? So that's the only way that you can start to practice real authenticity, right? You have to be honest with yourself and look clearly at yourself. You have to be authentic, right? When you're dealing with others. And I mean, not everybody's going to be authentic with you, but that's why you have to build trust over time, very carefully, very intentionally, by like being real, by watching with eyes wide open, not rose-colored glasses, but also with acceptance and non-judgment. It's just that you don't have to get involved in business or anything else or whatever with something that's not quite right, right? That's something that's going to take your resources and not give in return, or something that's going to be dishonest, right? And not on the up and ups. So yeah, be mindful over the next 2 weeks of releasing and letting go of this shitty ass energy in your life. And this is probably what the conclusion of this energy is. So it's time to get that out of your, oh my God. You guys, the candle went out. This was lit. When did it go out? That is something has suffocated the life out of somebody somewhere, or out of something, out of the fucking situation. There is no air in the situation. There's something fully suffocating. Look, they're all sitting around a campfire, around a fire, and this person has a blanket running away with all the swords. That is so crazy. I can't wait to go back and watch to see when the fucking fire went out. Wild. It's like, did I put it out at some point, like unconsciously. Like, that's so weird. That is so fucking weird. Okay. Oh, you know what I bet it was? When I had to move the coffee table. But, because I bet the wax washed over the wick. But I bet you there was something poignant in that moment about what is putting the fire out. So maybe go back and rewind to that spot. Okay, this card stuck in my hand, so I just feel I want to look at it, especially with like the weirdness. Okay, reverse. What do we got here? Two of Swords reverse. Unable or unwilling to make a decision. Follow your heart rather than trying to make others happy. Pretending there is no problem. Overanalyzing a situation. Okay, all right. There's that. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's check in with our mermaids and dolphins for our manifestations. Let yourself receive. Allow others to give you loving care. Receive without guilt or apologies. Listen. Listening is receiving. Opening your heart is receiving. The vessel is, you're being prepared to receive the abundance that Jupiter's influence is now trying to give to you. But you have to be in alignment with it. And that takes the work of shedding those layers of negativity and being and stepping into like the mold of who you've been casting for yourself. So yeah, now it's time to receive without guilt or apology. Let others give to you and know that you deserve. The key to unblocking your manifestation is deservingness. So allow others to give to you and receive what is being offered. Okay. All right, what else do we need to know about our manifestations and our goals from the magical mermaids and dolphins? Okay. Self-forgiveness. Let go of old guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. Oh my God. Who's God's perfect child? Who's God's gift to humanity? We are. Me. You. Yeah, forgive yourself. I love her Brooke Shields moment with like her perfectly covered boobs, just like doing her hair, having her jewelry on. I feel you, girlfriend. Yeah, have self-love, self-deservingness, self-forgiveness, right? Forgiveness, let go of control. You're in the situation that you've been put in, so don't beat yourself up over it, right? You're navigating through it the best way you can, and apparently, like, it's self-forgiveness is the issue. Because not forgiving yourself, beating yourself up, holding on to guilt is preventing you from receiving what you really want and what's apparently yours. So, what you deserve. So, that you can block yourself in all kinds of ways. Not asking for enough, right? When you're going into negotiations. Selling yourself short, right? I remember one time, I gave this example of like being too quick and not being more shrewd about choosing my original internship when I got into production, and I regretted it later. Because I could have worked for the company that made Taylor Swift's music videos. It was right before she got famous, and then I ended up with one that was like going out of business, and like they'd already finished their reign. But yeah, so forgive yourself, right? Let go of old guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. Let go. Let go of guilt and just be able to receive. Okay. What else do we need to know? Okay. Everybody's just like throwing themselves in the hill. Okay. Set your sights higher. Set your sights higher. Increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. Testing from the universe in what To Be Magnetic calls your magic dark. Which if you want to join To Be Magnetic, these are the workshops that I do to make me like a proficient manifester and to like do the work of like getting into the subconscious to figure out like what is causing turbulence in my own life. You can follow the link below. I'm an affiliate. I manifested an affiliation program with them. They didn't even have one. I manifested it. They're like, hey, guess what, guys? We're starting an affiliation program. So I was like, oh yeah, sign me right up. So if you want, and if you're interested in doing To Be Magnetic work, you can follow my links below in the description box. Or if you're like, well, I don't even know what it is, they have a podcast you can listen to for free, and you'll get the idea of what's going on. But it's called Expanded. and it's by To Be Magnetic. And their process episodes are like people who are part of the workshops, or people that do the workshops that are part of the membership. And they're like basically giving you their testimony of when they started and the kinds of things that they've manifested, and they tell their story like through every dirty detail. So it's amazing. So you can listen to the podcast. They have other episodes where they talk about the neural science and they have their experts on and whatnot. But I like the testimonial episodes the best. Those are more fun. But what I'm getting at is that the way that To Be Magnetic talks about the magic dark, the way that they talk about, creation phase 3, where Kabbalah calls it creation phase 3. To Be Magnetic is talking about that time period as well, but she calls it the magic dark. And that's when your faith and your trust and your self-worth are tested. And you're tested to see if you will bend on your non-negotiables and your deal breakers. And to see really if what you want in front of you is checking off all your boxes, or if you're settling in some area and thinking like, well, it's one thing to have a bridge experience that is expanding, that gets you skills that you need for the next thing, but it's another thing to sell out or sell yourself short in something that you know isn't right, or that you know that you'll regret later, that you feel that disappointing feeling, that sickening feeling in your stomach that like totally like wilts your whole aura. Like that is settling. And so you're being tested in the magic dark, because what that is this moment and period where nothing is happening. You're putting the effort in, right? Creation phase 3, putting the effort. I've been doing all the work. Why isn't anything coming through? Why am I hearing crickets? This is actually almost hilarious how ridiculous this is. You're on the verge of getting what you want. So don't short circuit and don't settle for anything less than what you demand for yourself. Because even the thing that you're trying to call in, that manifestation, the job, whatever, the client, if you don't demand what you know that your self-worth is asking you to stretch toward, the job that could have been yours would tell you no, because something senses that you don't deserve it. And they don't even know what, they can't put their finger on it. They're like, I don't know, something just won't let me go for this person even though I want to. So it's like you energetically have to be in alignment. You have to feel a sense of deservingness, and it has to come from a real place. It can't be faked. You can't lie with your energy. Set your sights higher. Don't settle. Okay. Increase your standards. Expect more for yourself. Don't settle. All right. What is our next card? And our final card from the mermaids and dolphins. Okay. Accept heaven's help. You've prayed for help, so get out of the way and let heaven help you. So our practice, we know this, is that we use our prayers. Right? That's the most powerful thing that we can do, the most valuable practice we have. And for hundreds and thousands of hours on this channel, we've talked about how to make your prayers more effective. So if you want to learn more about that, it's just a process with us. We meander, we talk, we get sidetracked, but that's where the juice is. So you should follow, you should subscribe, and you should watch the videos. You can go back and binge them all, my whole catalog. But yeah, making your prayers known to heaven, but building that practice is very powerful. It's the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. The Psalms, the Song of Songs, those are prayers, very powerful prayers. And those prayers are repeated like in accordance to which ones are appropriate during the High Hebrew holidays. If you do certain types of hoodoo, right, and voodoo and Santeria and things like that, you know about the Psalms. You know about the saints and all of those things. So they're very powerful. They're an arrangement of Hebrew letters that are the building blocks of reality. So the Hebrew language matters, the words, the root words, the cantor, the numerology of what the numerical value of the words equal. It all matters in those psalms, in those prayers, in these passages in the Bible. So they're very powerful. Okay. Romance oracle reading for the next 2 weeks. What do we need to know for our love lives, for our highest good, and the highest good of all? What do we need to know to step into our potential and overcome our shortcomings for the next 2 weeks during the waning cycle of the moon? Ooh, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture, apparently. Yeah, you're going to be listening. The Page of Cups is here. There's a lot of promise in the situation. And it's going to come down to everyone's feeling of deservingness in the situation. That's what causes all the turbulence in romance and friendship and work relationships, period, is people's feelings of deservingness rubbing up against other people's feelings of deservingness or not deservingness. Or their subconscious feelings that they're not worthy. So their conscious ego is grasping at their deservingness and they need validation and, you know, things from everywhere. So it's not a humble or a sense of deservingness from a grounded. Oh my gosh, guys, like we've gone so long that I don't even have time to finish this video hardly before I have to go to work, but I think I can if we power through. I won't have time to edit or post till later, so sorry about that, but express your love. Something's going on. Be honest, be authentic, because it's the only way that you're going to attract in what is authentic and honest, okay? Let's see, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your love bond deepens. So again, express your true self. Be your true self out in the world. Let it be known who you are and what you want, and don't settle for anything less. Don't make apologies for yourself, because you deserve it and you're worthy of it, and what's in resonance will be for you. And there's a lot of hope and a lot of potential coming in, so don't settle. Keep your options open, explore your options. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Oh my goodness. Stay optimistic. Stay positive. Don't fret. Keep your sense of deservingness. Jupiter, optimism, expansion, good fortune, luck. But it's a fucking inside job, and it starts at a deep core. True love and very soon came out. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Don't settle. Know your deal breakers. Know your non-negotiables. Know your boxes that you absolutely have to have ticked. Your core needs. Things that you won't settle on. Have those intact. Those are your boundaries. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So something is coming in. Be open to it. Be open. You may not know where it's coming from. So just stay open, but stay wise and keep your strong boundaries and keep your own independence, but just don't be hard-hearted. Be optimistic, you know, give your life a chance to show you that you can have something good because you deserve it. Okay, health. My prayers are healing miracles. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Okay, so this is our word from Mary, Jesus' mom. I know I'm plowing through right now at full speed, but Jesus' mom, Mary, says health. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. So whatever you're praying for healing for, then your prayers are being heard and answered. Heaven's help, your prayers. The prayers that you've been praying for, the help is on the way. Trust with certainty that it's already come. Home. I trust and follow my divine guidance about home. So healing, finding your way home, what you are calling in for that sense of home that we were talking about, those Venus themes. Know that God can help you create and heal your situation around home, the goals that you have around home, and any issues. So your prayers are being answered and you're being guided. But don't give up on yourself and your vision for that home that you want to create. It is waiting. It is in store for you. It's just you have to stay optimistic and keep going. Oh my gosh. This is the Jesus card. These are loving words from Jesus, but me and my friend Tracy laugh about this because we're always like, this is Jesus hanging out and comforting the single woman. It's gonna be okay. You deserve love. Don't feel guilty or shamed. Okay, be of good comfort. Your faith has made you whole. Be of good comfort. Your faith has made you whole. Your prayers and your healing work have brought you out of Egypt, and you have walked out of Egypt, and you're not going to wander the desert for 40 years if you don't wander the desert for 40 years. You can go straight to the promised land, but you have to get clear about what that is, and you can't settle for less than what that is, because that's what the Israelites were were in conflict. They were fighting amongst themselves. They had interconflicting issues, and they were doubtful, and they were working against themselves every step of the way, going in circles for 40 years. So instead of doing that, get in alignment, practice restriction, be authentic, be honest with yourself, and pray to be aligned with what is going to give you the ultimate and true fulfillment that is trying to happen right now. This is what is brewing in the cauldron of your life and womb in this moment, you guys. All right, love and blessings to you. Good luck over the next waning cycle, and whatever happens tonight on this full moon and through this energy, practice restriction. Be silent, be open, be soft, and be lighthearted. All right, y'all. Good luck. Love ya. Bye.